I don't like Blaire White. She's always seemed like a pawn for bigoted right-wingers to say, we're not transphobic when we say that people who are transgender have a mental illness, because, look, a trans person agrees with us. But I don't find her to be absolutely insufferable like many of the other prominent anti-SJW figures on this site, because there are some Blaire White videos I actually do really enjoy, most recently the one where she interviewed that girl who was in Onision's custody for a while, and really the reason why she was in his custody is so Onision and his spouse could fuck her the minute she turns 18. I really do commend Blaire for giving that girl a voice, okay? And bringing that information to the public's attention because, well, Onision is a creep and that behavior is absolutely reprehensible. But anyways, the reason I'm making this video is because about a week or two ago I came across a really stupid tweet Blaire White made, and I just really want to respond to it because it just really pisses me off and it's just so stupid. Anyways, without further ado, here's the tweet that I want to discuss in this video. If you can't have friends who disagree with you politically, you're emotionally and mentally weak, can't relate. I never understood this logic where if you don't want to associate with someone who thinks drastically different than you, especially with politics, you're weak, and you can't handle being around people who think differently than you. Because if a friend of mine in real life were to out themselves as a racist or a homophobe or a transphobe or a bigot of any kind, or I don't know, they're a Nazi or anything of the sort, any terrible thing like that, I would be like, thank you for revealing who you really are. Now get the fuck out of my life because I don't want anything to do with you. I'd rather not tolerate the presence of hateful people in my life because really I don't want any room for those kind of people in my life because I don't want to associate with bigots of any kind. Look, I'm fine with hanging out with people who are on the more conservative side. I have some more conservative friends who, you know, have more conservative views, but they're not that kind of conservative. They're not like the kind of people who, you know, who hate LGBT folk or any minorities of any kind. You know, they're not that, so I can tolerate their presence. But I'm just saying, if anyone I know is like that, then I would gladly just tell them to fuck off and not associate with me anymore, because I don't want those kind of people in my fucking life. In fact, I did just that a few months ago. During the summer, a friend of mine, an ex-friend of mine, I should say, was posting some stupid pro-straight pride memes, and he was saying he was pro-straight pride, and I noticed these posts, and we got into a little heated argument in the comments, and then eventually he started saying some really nasty shit that was kind of the final nail in the coffin for me. But even before that, I was like, yeah, this guy really isn't worth hanging around anymore. I didn't know he was like this. I already knew he was on the more conservative side. He's a gun nut, too, which I didn't really like, but I tolerated that because it doesn't really have much to do with other people or wanting to stifle other people's freedom. But anyways, he started saying that he was posting that, and he started saying that that gays are an abomination and shit like that, and I was just like, I don't want anything to do with you anymore, dude. Fuck you. And we haven't spoken since, and I really don't want to ever speak to that douchebag ever again, and even other friends of mine have stopped associating with that douchebag because of what some of the really hurtful shit he said about me. But anyways, I don't want to dedicate this whole video to that guy because he's really not worth my breath. But the point that I'm getting at here is, I don't see it as weak if you cut someone off like that out of your life, even if you consider them a very close friend of yours. I think it's quite the opposite. It shows that you have character and integrity, and you actually stand for what you believe in. Because I can't fucking stand people who are like, I hate bigots of any kind, but if my friend is a bigot, I'm not going to call them out because they're my friend. What the fuck does that change? They're still a hateful asshole, and if you were actually principled, you would tell that person to get out of your life, because you can't tolerate people like that, and you can't tolerate hanging around people like that, and you would love to have people like that be in your life as little as possible. That shit I can actually respect. Sitting idly by knowing your friend is a bigoted douchebag, I cannot respect. Because you know full well that your friend is a piece of shit, and you know full well that those ideas are garbage, but you can't call your friend out because you're too scared to call them out because you're afraid of, oh no, losing your friendship with a bigoted asshole. That's what I consider weak, not calling them out for who they are and rightfully cutting them out of your life, because I consider that to actually be brave, because it shows that you're completely fine with losing a friend or two, or even a few, because you actually stand up for what you believe in, and actually believe that these kind of people are trash, and you don't want those kind of people in your life. And you are brave enough to say, hey, you're a piece of shit. Your ideas are garbage. Now please get out of my life and never associate with me ever again. So yeah, fuck Blaire White, and fuck the notion that you're supposedly weak for cutting certain people with certain hateful ideologies out of your life for good because you don't stand for those hateful ideologies that those certain people may hold. She's only saying this because she's popular with transphobes and bigots in general, because she's trans and she's spewing out the hateful rhetoric that they believe in. That's really the reason why she tweeted this, because she's trying to appeal to those people. So yeah, she's really not worth being taken seriously with many, many things, including this. Anyway, that's all I have to say. Bye-bye.